Hey everyone, my luxury stories here. Welcome back to my channel. So as you can see from today's video title, I have an unboxing for you. We'll go through the story time as after we unravel the bag. So let me just quickly take out my box and show you what I picked up. This video is a long time coming. Sorry guys, I've already used it, so it's not a true unboxing. So I'm not gonna go through my proof of purchase, my receipt, etc. I'm just gonna throw the bag on the side and let's get straight into it. It's the beautiful orange box, and what I loved is how the SA tied the ribbon outside, so I really don't have to take the ribbon off. I can keep it in the box. And here is my bag, and I picked up, might come as a surprise because I don't own anything like this. I think I'll keep the box in the background. I think I'll just get rid of it so that we have all the focus on the bag itself. So I picked up the Alma BB in the Verni leather from Louis Vuitton in the color Amarante. Here she is, you guys, and isn't she a beauty? I'm gonna leave her on the dust bag because I'm so gentle when I'm using her. Right, so a little story time. I had picked up the, let me focus the camera a little more. Can I just bring it closer so I can show you all the details? Okay, so I went into store to pick up the Alma BB in the Damier AB print, and I bought it home, and it was at home with me for a few days, and you know, I have this thing. I want to inspect my bags, my small leather goods, after I bring them home, because I feel the store lighting and that rush one is in when you're at the store. It really doesn't let you inspect the bag properly, though I do try and take my time, but then I also don't want to like annoy the sales associate. I'm just taking forever because I do kind of inspect over every little detail, right? And why shouldn't I? Or why shouldn't we? Because we're paying such a hefty amount for these items, and it's not like the prices are coming down. The prices are going up, which brings me to my next point, that Louis Vuitton did have another price increase. So if any of you have been following the On The Go, for example, that went up by a few, I think it went up by at least $100 USD. It went up by like 200 Singapore dollars. So anyway, I came back home, I inspected the bag, and because it was the Damier Bean, it was the treated leather right here. That portion had scuffs, and big scuffs, which surprisingly I couldn't see in the store light. And of course I didn't want to like take the bag over there and like inspect it in the window where there was sunlight. So I'm not surprised I missed it because the store light's not that bright. So anyway, I took that back and I got it exchanged for another Damier Bean one. And surprisingly, when I came back home and opened that one as well, the front of the bag, the canvas had, a lot of residual glue. Now, I understand Louis Vuitton's quality control has gone down, and I have addressed this in a couple of my other videos. I love the brand and I will continue to buy from them regardless. I understand it's more exhausting now to inspect every single piece that we pick up. But I really wish they would pay more attention. And so I went back and I just returned that because I was not gonna just settle in for something I know is not acceptable, right? So I'd been debating because I love the Alma. And what I was not too happy with was the strap drop. Now, I'm 5'3" for reference. And the strap drop on the Alma, which is, I'll just show you, and it has the same strap here, is around 56 centimeters. So that for me falls quite low, which I was not happy about. So, and I wanted to add the bag in my collection because it's a classic, and like I've also previously mentioned, I do try and stick to the classics, right? So yeah, and I was like, why not the Verni leather? It is not that common, yet it's a classic. And you know, I would love to have something which I could just take on the crook of my arm when I'm out for dinner or something, you know, like a nicer restaurant. Even with the kids, like, you know, it's easy to hold. Even if you have a stroller, for example, you just hang it on the hook of the little shopping hooks that I have on my son's stroller. I could just put it and add it there. So and even if I was like, for example, like I said, I've already carried it, so I had it on the crook of my arm and I could just push the stroller really easily, and the bag itself is so light that I really didn't feel anything. So I thought to myself, okay, why not? And I went back to the store and I you know, said to them, okay, then I'll just grab, you know, the Alma in the verni. And again, quality issues. I came back home, you guys, it was like literally, and you can't see that because it's a darker color, it was pushed in from here, like literally the bag was like someone had pushed it in. So then I went back again and I requested, I said, you know, I can't accept a piece. And luckily the sales associates could see it, so there's not much they could argue with me about, right? I'm not gonna take a deformed bag. I come back home, and because I'd already been so exhausted from this entire, you know, inspection and, you know, like glue residue, glue everywhere, I was like, okay, I'm just gonna take a break and I'll examine it the next morning. And to my surprise, when I opened the bag the next morning as well, there was a big indent here. So now I'm thinking to myself, okay, this is the second one that I have checked, and is this bag even meant for me or not? So I, you know, regardless of the indent, there was tarnishing on the strap, there was tarnishing on the lock, and I'm just thinking to myself, you know, okay, maybe I'm not inspecting things properly. I mean, what's happening, right? So I messaged my sales associate, and he was very persistent that no, we can't offer another exchange because you've already like exchanged it once, and you know, we're just gonna like, we can just order a new lock and key set for you. Okay, fine, but what about the indent, right? So anyway, I walked into the store a few days later, and I spoke to the manager. She was extremely sweet. And she said, you know, we have a couple of more pieces in the store this morning, so why don't you just have a look at those? So I did, and luckily, touch wood, this one was perfect. There was no indent in the bag itself, but the hook and the lock, after I came back home and inspected again, are full of scratches. So I mean, I'm not gonna go back, you guys. I'm just so exhausted now. I mean, I'm so happy that I have the bag, and like I said, I had no plans anyway of wearing the strap because it is just so long on me. That's why I returned the damier bean in the first place. You know, it's something that will just be lying inside. So as I look at it right now, I see more scratches. So I think maybe because it's just been lying inside. So I mean, I was a little disappointed, to be honest, because I love Louis Vuitton so much, and I miss those times where we would have like those extremely, like, you know, polished hardware with not a scratch to be seen. And yeah, but nonetheless, like I said, I'm so glad that I have the bag. Let me bring it up closer so that you guys can have a look at the beautiful verni leather. It is such a stunning color. I know I have to be really careful. I watched a lot of videos where people describe cons, like if you want to get a scratch, it's there, you know, be careful in the heat. So it is not a bag I'm going to carry on an everyday basis. For me, it's a little too formal to be carried out every day. So of course it comes with all its you know, little beautiful items. So that's the dust, that's the cloth to wipe off any fingerprints. I don't actually see fingerprints that visibly. I've carried this twice already and I didn't see any fingerprints. And the lock and key I don't want to add anyway because it'll just make the bag heavier, and I'm already carrying it on the crook of my arm, so what's the need, right? So here it is, the beautiful lock, and the keys of course in the crescent right here. So yeah, that's a little story time. I know it was a little long, but I I just wish to bring up the quality inspection a little more. The quality, of course, of the canvas, it's indestructible, we all know that, but just these little things, like there's glue residual, you know, there are threads uncut which are hanging from the canvas, scratches everywhere on the hardware, you know, like I said, when I got home, this had scratches, the lock itself had hairline scratches. I mean, I don't want to sound like I'm going on a rant, but I just feel these things need to be paid more attention to, right, in detail. And I think everybody knows what the inside of the Alma looks like. It's just a plain textile lining. This is not microfiber, it's textile. And yes, my piece is made in France, so that I was lucky that I could just get my hands on a made in France piece. But yeah, I'm glad I actually stuck with the vernis, and I did not you know, have double thoughts about it, because when I did get my second you know, not very properly constructed, not it was not properly constructed, but like a little, you know, slightly squished piece, like this entire thing was just like pushed back in. I did think, I said, okay, should I go and return this? But maybe it's just not meant for me. The same thing happened with the Damier Bean. You know, but I'm glad I stuck to it, and I'm so glad I have it now. So like I said, I've worn it out twice, and I wore it out on the crook of my arm. I'll do a review soon of what fits in it and how I'm liking the vernis, and it fits quite a few things, but because I was just out for dinner, I just took my bare essentials, and it was just so compact and easy to carry. I had my son's stroller in my hand, and I had this at the crook of my arm, and I really couldn't even tell that I was even holding a bag, and it's just sitting nicely on the table as well. And it's a dark color, so I really don't have to worry about like color transfers or anything. And like I said, I couldn't even actually visibly see any fingerprints, so so far so good. I'll definitely report back in like 6 months time to talk about any wear and tear, any scratches or anything. The bag itself is beautiful, it's clean, the hardware is pristine, no scratches, anything. So yeah, the attachments, like I said, had them, but oh well, I'm not using those attachments, so they're sitting inside. So yeah, that was my little unboxing for today, you guys. I hope you enjoyed today's video, and I will see you in my next one. Bye guys.